everybody, and Happy New Year. Yes, it's 2024, and this is the first video that I'm doing of the year, and I must commend all of you on your choice of videos, making mine the first video that you've chosen to watch in this new year of 2024. It makes me feel warm inside. Of all the videos on YouTube, that you've chosen mine to watch. Maybe similar to this jacket is making me feel warm on the outside. I feel warm that you've chosen me. Thank you. And welcome to the show. And as you can see in the title, today I'm going to talk about Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. Now, the reason I'm talking about this one, I seem to have been doing this recently, explaining or stating my reasons for choosing the album for any album that I've chosen to recently, is I'm continuing with the Christmas theme here. I did the Police Synchronicity last week. I got that for Christmas. And I mentioned that I got 2 other records for Christmas. And I want to stay in that Christmas spirit and the gift spirit and talk about the other ones. This is one of them. This is the second one today. You're going to have to wait and see what the third one that I got for Christmas was. But today it's going to be it's Heaven and Hell. Now, the reason that I got, the story behind me getting this one, a little bit interesting. Although I think everything is interesting. Here it is. You can see this is in a bag from HMV. All the way in London, England, and that's where it came from. So I got this from, I guess I should show it like this. There's the bag is the same, but there's the album cover, which you'll see. I'll show that in a minute. So I got this from I guess my what I call my ex-brother-in-law. This is my ex-wife's sister's ex-husband. Isn't that weird? At Christmas, there were 2 ex-husbands and ex-wives there together, but that's the way we do it. So now he is from England. I've known him for 20 years, I guess, 21 years we've known each other. And he's from England. He lives here in Mexico, as I do. And he was for some time married to my ex-wife's sister. And so he was back in England earlier this year. He came back for Christmas. He was back there doing some work. And he made it back here to Mexico for Christmas. I don't think we've ever had a Christmas apart in the 17 years that I've lived here. And so he was back in England, and he, I guess, was going to buy me a Christmas present. And turns out that he was in HMV, and he found Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. And he had texted, this is what you do when you text. He had texted my ex-wife saying, hey, does Dan, I guess, he knows that I like Black Sabbath, but he didn't know if I like this record or if I have this record. And he said, hey, I'm in an HMV and I want to buy Dan this record. Do you know if he has it? And I guess she didn't answer for some time, which I'm surprised because she's seemingly on her phone all the time, checking her messages constantly. And so he didn't hear back from her for a while. So I guess he thought, I don't know if I should buy it or not. And I guess then later she texted him back and said, I don't know. She doesn't know if I like it. She doesn't know if I have it. But she said, yeah, he likes Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. So he got it for me. So it was a total surprise. And really, it's really the only Black Sabbath album that he could have bought me. I was very excited to this. And I did the last Black Sabbath album I did in this series was Master of Reality. It was the last one I got. And I said I was done with Black Sabbath at that point. Because there were no more really that I wanted to get in their catalog except this one, but it was always, and still is, I checked it today, just way too expensive. It's about 50% more expensive than my maximum that I would have paid at least on Amazon. So when I opened this on Christmas, for one, I was very surprised because I wouldn't have expected that. And 2, I was very, very happy to have this because I did want it. And I feel like now I think I'm finished with my Black Sabbath album collection. I do have one coming up that's not as part of their regular discography, but I will talk about that. Who knows when? It might be months from now. So that's how I got Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, and I will show it here. I'll take it out of the HMV bag, and it's wrapped in one of these really thick protective sleeves, which I won't keep. I don't really like these sleeves, and I'll open this shortly, but. About this record, my thoughts about this record, I like it a lot. It's a little bit of a mix for me. There are 8 songs on this record. 4 of them to me are Black Sabbath classics. They're as good, as anything that they did with Ozzy. And then there are 4 that I don't dislike any of the songs, but there are 4 that I don't know, they're just not favorites. And this is a weird album for me because it was obviously, it was the first album with Dio singing, the first album without Ozzy. And, you know, a lot of people will say, and people say this about Motley Crue with the 1994 John Corabi album, or even Generation Swine, or they would say this about maybe Metallica with Load or Reload. Like, you know, they shouldn't have called it, people would say about this, they shouldn't have called it Black Sabbath. They should have called it something else. Or they say Motley Crue should have changed their name. They should have released that under something else. Or Guns N' Roses, Chinese Democracy shouldn't have been called Guns N' Roses. So I have heard people say that Heaven and Hell is not really a Black Sabbath album. I think that's stupid. Like, I don't think you should change the name of the band or release a record under a different band name just because it's different from the records that came before it. But anyway, it is in some ways, I associate this more with Dio. To me, this fits. If you took the Ozzy Black Sabbath from the first album up through Never Say Die, which was the first album, Paranoid, Master of Reality, Volume 4, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, Sabotage, Technical Ecstasy, and Never Say Die. If you took those, and then you took the Dio records like, well, let's say not as many, Holy Diver, Last in Line, Sacred Heart. To me, this fits more. This has much more in common with the Dio, what turned out to be his band, than it does with Black Sabbath. Very different. And I just can't imagine Ozzy singing any of these songs. Not just the vocals were different, because obviously Dio sounds totally different than Ozzy. But I assume Dio had a lot to do with the music, because the music was quite different. It was still heavy metal. But he for sure was writing the lyrics. Obviously, a lot of lyrics on this album about, kings and queens and dreamers and magic and, things like that. But I think he must have written a lot of the music too, or at least the vocal melodies, because very, very different than Black Sabbath with Ozzy. It is, I think, it's not arguable. I think it is the last classic Black Sabbath album. And classic doesn't mean that it's the last one that I like or the last one that you like. In the greater picture, in the big picture, you may love Seventh Star, you may love Born Again. I love Born Again, or whatever, 13, things like that. But nobody can say that those are classic albums. I don't think Black Sabbath did a classic album after this. Even Mob Rules, which I bought that album. I never get into it. I knew the title track and Sign of the Southern Cross. I don't know if I know another E5150. I don't know if I know any other songs off Mob Rules, but or I should say on Mob Rules. So for me, the last classic Black Sabbath album was this one right here, Heaven and Hell. And I think I'm ready to go through it track by track. And which means I have to open it up. So this, I'm not sure how to open this. Okay. Oh, so it's like an envelope. It's tucked in. I guess, and maybe still of a newcomer to vinyl. I've never seen this. So it tucks in like that. And there it is. Thick plastic sleeve will be going in the garbage. As will the shrink wrap. So there it is. The hype sticker. You can see it there. It says Geezer Butler, Ronnie James Dio, Tony Iommi, Bill Ward, the classic 1980 album remastered. Includes bonus LP of rarities and live versions. I'm not sure if they're rarities or not. I think they're all live except the 7-inch mono version of Lady Evil. Featuring Die Young, Heaven and Hell, and Neon Nights. So as I said, for me, classic songs, I would say there are 2 songs on this album, and you can place your bets here which ones you think these are. Maybe it'll be obvious. There are 2 songs that could easily be my top 5 Black Sabbath songs ever, including Ozzy. I don't care about anything Black Sabbath did realistically after this, except Born Again. Which 2 songs though? And then there are 2 others that are really, really great too. Let me open it up here. Now, I never did have this on vinyl. I was late to, I didn't get into Black Sabbath until 1980, which was still a little bit, I was 10 years old in 1980, and I got Paranoid. I never had this record before. I did have it on CD, but I didn't have this until, I don't know, the early 90s maybe. So I was a little bit late to the Heaven and Hell game. Now I can see, and you can see, this is a gatefold, and there's the back. I think, I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect from the gatefold. I'm rambling, so I will open up and see. And it's beautiful. I love it. I like this album cover. It's a cool cover. Let's see the gatefold. You can see it first. Is it another drawing like on the back? I don't know what it is. Oh, a lot of text here. Oh, I like it. It's very cool. Oh, a lot of text. This is almost like a mini book written by somebody called Lynn Curley. Oh no, it's written by a couple. Oh, I guess Corey Grow from Rolling Stone wrote the main part of this, and somebody called Lynn Curley. She wrote the little last section, I guess, about the artwork. Maybe, I'm not sure. Her website is curlyart.com. All right, cool. And let me check. All right, no, it looks like no lyrics, no lyric sheet, which is always disappointing. There it is, and it's just regular black vinyl. Yes. There it is, and I guess the other side is the same. It's always hard to get these back in. Yes, also no lyric sheet. I like the liner notes, but I always like lyrics too. So there it is. So going through this track by track now, it opens with Neon Nights, and yes, maybe you guessed, Neon Nights is, oh my God. Into the Void, War Pigs, I don't know, Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, whatever song, put Neon Nights up there with them, because Neon Nights is fucking awesome. Oh my God, what an incredible song that is. And again, I think I mentioned earlier, I can't imagine Ozzy singing any of these songs, and Neon Nights, well, it's one of the 8 that I can't imagine Ozzy singing. This is a pure heavy metal song, classic Dio lyrics. Oh no, here it comes again. Oh no, here it comes. Can't remember when we came so close to love before. Cry out to legions of the brave. Time again to save us from the jackals of the street. Am I getting that right? Yeah, Neon Nights is just incredible. I love that song. An amazing solo too. I've mentioned before, I don't really, when I listen to songs, I think, oh, that's a wicked solo. But then I can't remember, like, what song has a good solo? But I do remember this one. Neon Nights has a great solo. We think of Tony Iommi as the riff god and the riff lord. But he had some ripping solos too, and Neon Nights has one of them. What a fantastic song. Next is Children of the Sea. Now this is one of the ones of the 4 that I think are classic Black Sabbath. And it was, it's kind of a slower, of course it's got the acoustic intro, it's nice, it kind of sets the tone of it. And for me, the song really gets great in the last, I don't know what it is, last minute maybe, 30 seconds or a minute, the look out. Look out! The sky is falling down. Look out! The sky is turning black. Look out! That's a incredible song, Children of the Sea. And I don't know if it was Steve Harris or Bruce Dickinson. I guess Steve Harris, because he wrote Children of the Damned, which was 2 years later on The Number of the Beast. He said that he stole, I don't know if he stole the title only or if he stole the song. Maybe because they both have kind of quiet intros, but yeah, Children of the Sea is excellent. Next is Lady Evil. Now I like Lady Evil. She's a magical, mystical woman. But the first few seconds of that song, the bass and drums, I don't like that at all. I'm glad that only lasts for a few seconds. That has almost like a disco feel to it. But Lady Evil, it's a good one. It starts off a little bit shaky, but it redeems itself when the song actually comes in. And then Heaven and Hell, the title track. This is an epic. I don't like that word epic. People use it too much, and it kind of doesn't really mean anything. But Heaven and Hell does have that big epic feel to it. And this one also similar to Children of the Sea, the last part, the kind of the faster part. They say that life's a carousel. That part, that goes on to the end. Oh my God, just an incredible song. Love it. And Death Angel did an excellent cover of Heaven and Hell. And then side 2 is Wishing Well. That's a good song too. Cool bass in that song. It wasn't one of my favorites, but I do like Wishing Well enough. And then the next one is Die Young. Now this one, this is the second of 2 that it could be, you know, in my top 5 Black Sabbath songs ever. It's my favorite on this album. This has ripping guitar throughout from it's got that cool intro, I guess like a keyboard or synthesizer that comes in, and then after the intro and before the vocal, it's got that you know, that lead throughout, and yeah, and I remember the video for this song. There was a video for this one in Neon Nights that I didn't see until 83 or 84, and used to love those videos. And that actually, it was those videos that got me into those 2 songs, Neon Nights and Die Young. They were live, but the audio track was from the record. Yeah, Die Young is an amazing, classic Black Sabbath song. My favorite on the record for sure. Neon Nights is very close, but I think Die Young I like a little bit more. And next is Walk Away. This is very different than Black Sabbath. Now this one, and the next one too, this is where Black Sabbath was really different on this album. Both the guitar tone, this sounds, the guitar tone at the beginning of, or the riff at the beginning of Walk Away, it's very un-Black Sabbath. The guitar sounds kind of thin, the actual tone of the guitar, and the riff itself, it doesn't have that Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi heaviness that you might expect from Black Sabbath. And it is a quite melodic song, Walk Away. I like it. It wasn't a favorite. It's one of the 4 that were not my favorites. But it's okay. You maybe wouldn't expect this side of Black Sabbath. I think Dio probably had a lot to do with that. And then the last song is Lonely Is the Word. This one also, the guitar intro. The guitar during the songs, like when it's playing with the bass and the drum sounds great, but when it's just a guitar riff, I don't know if Tony Iommi had the best tone at this time. But Lonely Is the Word. That's a good song too. That sounds a little bit more like maybe what you expect from Black Sabbath. And it has the it's so identical. It's almost like a sample. The part of Stairway to Heaven that leads into And As We Wind On Down the Road, dun, 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 that part that leads into that, it's exactly like Lonely Is the Word. I've never heard anybody talk about this. I know I'm not the first person to point this out, but I can't hear this song without thinking of Stairway to Heaven. Only that one small part. The rest of the song has nothing to do with Stairway to Heaven. So that's it for the first video of the year, 2024. Lots more to come. I'm sure all excited. And I didn't mention, what does Mike Pratt think of Heaven and Hell? I think he probably doesn't like it too much. Maybe he likes Neon Nights. But that's it. There you go. A big classic album, the very last classic Black Sabbath album, and it is Heaven and Hell.